Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We got a nice little surprise for you guys. We decided to do a little bonus review. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I think from now on, I think we actually just decided we might start to do the reviews separately away from the podcast. And the podcast is probably going to be more news related and topics specific things. I think that would work a little bit better.
Help with the pacing at least, because otherwise we go way too long.
Yeah, especially with the news related stuff, we noticed that we start to go in depth with certain little news topics that we like. So it ends up dragging a little bit. But I think that would probably work the best is do these reviews on its own and then do the podcast more news related and topic specific things. But anyways, we're here with a Witcher or The Witcher review.
Yes.
On Netflix, 8 episodes. And whoa, Tim.
Yes.
Tell you the truth, man, I wasn't expecting, or I went into it not expecting the show to be as good as it is, man.
It's a really good show.
Yeah,
I've had Toss a Coin to Your Witcher stuck in my head for like a week now.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
So Valley of Plenty.
It's good, man.
It's a bomb.
I'm not gonna lie. I was sitting here. I think it was the second episode when they do that. Second or third episode
it's
when
up
the song actually comes up. Yeah, and oh man, it is such a great song, dude. But yeah, by the way, guys, just to get this clear, this is gonna be a spoiler review.
We recommend it.
Let you guys know.
Front.
So, but we, I think it's a great show. Personally, I enjoyed it, and I'm not tight. I've told this to Tim, and I told this to multiple people that this type of like specific like era or like time period, I'm not the biggest fan of these kinds of shows or movies. Like Game of Thrones, I liked it. It was cool. But I wasn't like, I'm not a big fan of like medieval wizards and stuff like that. It's always just been like, okay, it's entertaining, but it's never been like my cup of tea.
That's fascinating, man, because like that's my favorite genre.
Yeah, I know. But man, I loved Game of Thrones. Obviously, I think we all equally hated the ending. The last 2 seasons were not as good.
I'm not getting into that.
We're not going to get into that.
I don't have time for that.
This show in particular was fucking great. I enjoyed it, and I think people that are not fans of not fans, but like I think people that going into it blind without having to read the books and play the video games, you're going to be completely fine. The show does a pretty good job of explaining a lot of things at the very end, to be specific, but I'm gonna let you guys know. I'm gonna let you guys know ahead in advance right now, if you are gonna start to watch the show, that it is a bit confusing in the beginning because there is time jumps, kind of like the whole Grudge review we did there. But this is executed a lot better. I will say a lot better.
I think it's key. If you know nothing about the game series or the books, and you're going to the show blind, it is jarring when they drop you kind of just straight in. And so, before we even get into spoilers, let me just say this: you should watch it, but know ahead of time that there is a bit of time jumping going on.
Yes,
it helps a long way.
Yes. Try to be patient.
Yes.
Try to be patient with the show, and I promise you that in the end, it's worth it. It is definitely worth it. And it leaves you wanting more for 100%. Sure. Yes. 8 episodes was not enough for me. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I was sad when it ran out. This should have
been like at least 10. At least 10 would have been like a nice little sweet spot. But you know what? I'm happy with what we got. It's fine.
It's 8 hours of
yeah. That's another thing. To be specific, the episodes are an hour long.
Yeah,
which is great. I think that was good, especially for the first. Well, let me ask you this, Tim. What was the episode that kind of drew you in? What was the first episode?
Well,
because episode 1 doesn't. It starts off great because they're like, "Holy shit! Okay, so this is what we're getting into," and then it gets kind of slow, and then we're like, I don't know. So let me know what you think.
Well, okay, so I'll be very, very frank here. I don't know what happened to my camera, but basically, I started it and I couldn't even make it through episode 1 at the very, very start of things, just because I was like, "What in the hell is going on?" And then then it gave the appearance of it wanting to be. It's like it was like being a Game of Thrones wannabe, and I just kind of got rubbed wrong. So I had to take a step back, stepped away for a little bit, and then I heard everyone else was really enjoying it. So I was like, what am I missing here? So I pushed through to the very end. The opening sequence with the monster and everything I thought was cool. I thought it was entertaining. But after that, it kind of lost me because I didn't know that there was time jumps. I, again, never read the books or played the games. I didn't know what was happening.
That was going to be my next question is, did you read any or played any of the games?
No, not at all.
So you went completely blind. Okay.
Yeah, and so it kind of really rubbed me wrong. But then, at the very end of the first episode, there is a particular sword fight sequence.
Yeah.
Where Geralt just unleashes on these fighters in the town and then the mystery fighter. Can we talk spoilers yet? Or
yes, we can talk spoilers. This is going to be a full-on spoiler review. Just to be aware again, or let people know, I want to talk spoilers because this show needs to be talked about like with spoilers, man.
The fight, that sword fight choreography at the end of episode 1. I was like,
not only that,
this is crazy good. I was like, this is insane. Yes. The shot specifically, which I believe we used for the thumbnail of this particular episode, where it's him blocking behind him with her sword, and it's looking right at him, and he has the fear. My God, I was like, I'm in for the rest of this season.
Yeah, let's not even shy away from the fact that the special effects. Holy fuck, dude! They did a fantastic job. Special effects, the costume designs.
Yes.
I think the casting is great. I never felt like I felt like that might have been a miscast. No, I think the cast is amazing, dude. And not only that, the actress, I believe Yennefer, she only has like 4 films, or 4 projects credited to her, if I'm correct. Like she doesn't really have that many things. Yeah, she's only credited 4 things on IMDb. So
wow,
she did a pretty good freaking job, man.
Yeah, she did.
Impressed by that. And I got to give it up to Henry Cavill, of course, man. And not only because, dude, I don't know if you were like aware of the whole news when he first got casted, that people were shitting on the fact that he was playing Geralt.
Not only that, but like a still image of him with the wig does not do it justice. He surprisingly rocks it. Like at no point does it feel, oh, that's a wig. I'm like, dude, it's his hair. It looks good.
Okay, to get this clear too, I've never read any of the books. I would like to read them now. I definitely want to read the books now, dude, because this got me hooked. And the video games, I would like to eventually play them. I've never played any of them, but I've watched a few friends play through them, so I already know. Because you know, watching live streams and stuff. So, but I think the games are great too, man. And I think Henry Cavill did a fantastic job. He even got the voice down. Like I thought that was gonna throw me off, but when he first spoke and actual sentences, I was like, whoa, this guy's got the fucking voice down.
Well, what's cool about Henry Cavill too is like some interviews for this, he's really shown that he actually is a video game player. Like they asked him which console is better, and he's like PC Master Race, which I was like, I love him for that. But also, then he went on to be like talking about how much he enjoys the games and the books.
Yeah.
Like he isn't just an actor who's like, I'm going to take on this role because I think it'd be good for my career. He was like, no, I love the content, and so I'm going to do my best to be that.
He did his homework, and before even playing the specific character, he was already playing the games and stuff. So that was really cool of him, man. And yeah, like for me, not liking the specific time periods of this type of show, I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it, man. I cannot express that enough. Like it was really good. I don't think it's a perfect show. 100%, it's not a perfect show. There's certain things that felt like could have been better, but I also feel like it had to do with budget. I don't know if you felt that way. There's certain episodes that just felt like that didn't get the budget. There's only some specific ones.
Do you have any examples that you could think of?
I think the final episode, it didn't do it for me. Especially that the whole like the battle. Yeah. Like I don't know, something about it just didn't seem right.
It felt a little bit more TV than the rest of it had been.
Yes, there we go. I was trying to pinpoint. I was like, why does this episode feel so off, dude? Like everything else, it was like fucking great.
It gave me, I don't know if you've seen them, the CW like has superhero shows, which I'm not personally that big of a fan of because I think it has that certain TV look to it that I'm not I can't get into. Certain elements of that battle sequence and the way it was kind of paced at moments, but also like some of the visual effects in that particular, because it was such a visual effects heavy scene or battle sequence. It was a little TV era kind of quality, but
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so do you want to give a brief, plot synopsis of what's the actual show about? Because for newcomers, obviously, if you guys are watching this and you guys, are still stuck around, even though it's spoilers, thank you guys. And, hopefully you can, we can kind of convince you watching the show because I think it deserves the support that it's getting. And I hope that they have a way bigger budget for the next season because, it deserves it. It deserves it.
I would say that from what I've got from the story, because again, this was a blind intro for me.
Yeah.
You have Geralt of Rivia, which they tease at the end of it that's where they're heading, who is a Witcher, aka an enhanced, mutant being who's gotten specific abilities. I believe he has like cat eyes, which help him see more so in the dark. He's got enhanced strength. He drinks potions that gives him endurance or whatever he needs to help in a monster fight.
Pretty much. It's almost like a steroids in a drink. Like pretty much what it is.
So he goes around and he basically hunts monsters for coin, and that's all he does in life. He kills monsters, sells whatever that was for. That was the whole point.
By the way, I don't think we got enough of the whole monster hunting thing. I felt like I wanted more of that. Yeah. Like that's what drew me in the first episode when we kick it off. He's like tackling this giant spider thing. Like fuck yes! If this is what we're gonna get, hell yes. And then you kind of lose it a little bit, and then it goes back to the monster thing, and then you lose it again, and it goes back to the whole, It
was sprinkled. It was sprinkled in like a taste. They were like, "Hey, this is what we want to do. We're limited by budget, but this is what we're going to do." Anyway, so he does that. He gets the coin. He goes to taverns. He drinks, probably eats some poops and all that crap. But then he whores, and he just goes. That's all you really need to know about him, and how he evolves throughout the whole thing is really interesting too.
Yeah.
Of being torn between.
Yeah, the character development for Geralt is great.
He goes from wanting like to only make choices that are not evil. He's like greater evil, lesser evil. I prefer not to choose. And then very quickly he has to make choices that are lesser or greater evils. He tends to try and go to lesser evils.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, he's kind of a dick sometimes. I don't know if you noticed that. He's kind of a dick. Like, he is not like a likable character off the bat. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. Like, yes, he's likable because he's Superman, like Henry Cavill. But aside from that, like, the character that he's playing, the character is kind of a dick. Like, but
I get it.
Eventually, you learn to like really like latch yourself with him, and you get it. Like, it's cool. Like. And you get why he's kind of a dick, dude, because he had a fucked up childhood, He was pretty much, left from his mother, and then, and I'm glad that they teased that a little bit. I'm pretty sure we're going to see that, the more of his childhood or how he became a Witcher in season 2. I'd
like to see that.
Yeah, they teased it a little bit. Seems like they did, but they didn't want to go too much into it because they wanted to tell the story for season 1. They're probably going to go more in depth with his character next season.
Yeah.
They left a lot of windows open that should get us excited for season 2.
Yeah, I do want to say, he is the Witcher part of the Witcher Geralt. He is 1/3 of the other, a total of 3 storylines, but I would say he's my favorite, but that is by no means saying the other 2 are weak.
Yeah.
I felt they were all pretty well-rounded. The only one that's a little weaker, I guess, would be, I cannot remember the character's name. She's the princess who's blonde and got driven out of her kingdom. And she's going on a quest, and she's kind of going through her own harrowing journey to survive, basically, while being pursued.
You're talking about Ciri.
Yes, Ciri. Thank you.
Ciri. Yes. Played by Freya Allen, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. She. Let me go ahead and double check her. She has 8 credits so far for things that she's worked on. She's pretty young. She's I would say in the show she looked like she was around like 13.
Yeah, she didn't look old at all.
Yeah, she looked around like 13 years old. And she did a phenomenal job, dude. Like phenomenal job. And man, I thought she was really good. I thought she was gonna get annoying because at first, like, she's a little annoying because she's not really listening to her elders.
Yeah,
well, like, just listen to them, okay? But she was being stubborn. But later on, you see that she was just born in royalty, and she was kind of like a little brat. You know what I mean? And
I genuinely thought the way that the show was gonna go, because I didn't know, like, if he was gonna be hunting monsters the whole time, kind of like you. I didn't know because they kind of, the way that it was shot, they hinted at the fact that, like, these daughters born under a full moon or whatever, I think.
Yeah.
They're supposed to bring the end of the world and all this other crap. And so this evil wizard guy played by Lars Mikkelsen, who I thought did a good job.
Yeah. I think we should definitely touch on the whole the witching part of the show. I think it's another fantastic thing that I kind of wanted more of too.
Yeah, because
I like that was really cool.
Yeah, I genuinely thought that it was setting her up to be like some demon that he would have to go kill. Mm-hmm. So I thought for a little bit that was what was going to happen with her character, is that she's going to transform to be this horrible monster and get slaughter, which doesn't happen. So I'd be interested to see if that kind of happens. I don't know, but it'd be cool. And then I can't find, is it Anya Chalotra who played Yennefer?
I want to say Chalotra. Chalotra or Chalotra. Yes, she's the actress that played Yennefer, and she is she killed it, man. And holy crap, that makeup, the special effects that they had on her was very convincing, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you felt like you were pretty convinced that she had a deformity. You know what I mean? Like,
it looked really good. That scene of her transformation.
Fuck, dude, that looked painful. They made it look really painful.
Fuck, like,
yes.
I remember seeing, like, there's a part where, like, he literally takes her organ,
yes,
and puts it, and I was like, I will never be able to unsee that. So
the thing, she kind of committed herself to being like a witch, and in order to do that, they take away your organs, so you can't reproduce. You can't have a baby.
She got black widowed.
So pretty much she kind of got screwed off of that. And there's a specific scene here that kind of leaves you, for me, dude, I was really fucking rough to watch the scene. I don't know about you, but there was a scene where she's trying to save a woman from her baby. Both of them are trying to she's trying to save the woman with her baby. She's being chased by this fucking I'm gonna call him what was he, a warlock? Or
he was some sort of assassin who had like a bug.
Yeah, and he was pretty much chasing them through portals. And he had like this weird looking bug thing that I thought the bug, I like the concept of the bug, but the CGI was,
it reminded me a lot
off.
Well, like, you've played Skyrim. Do you remember whenever you go into the caves below with the people are gonna hate me for not knowing this. But anyway, the white goblin looking elf dudes who were like those.
Yeah.
They had those bug, like, can't remember what those are called either. Those bugs that were down there with them, it looked a lot like that thing. And so I was like, flashback to times I was walking in there scared.
So this guy's chasing them, which we're gonna leave, he's pretty much chasing them, and she's, putting up portals, and they're walking through, and he's chasing them through the portals, and eventually the bug kills the girl, if I'm correct, right? Kills the lady with the baby, but the baby
after that bitch mom goes,
yes,
kill the child, not me.
Yeah, like, she was pretty much like giving away the child just as a sacrifice. It's just so she can get away. And
so immediately I was like, kill her. She doesn't.
Yeah, and eventually the warlock or the wizard assassin kills her, and then the bug jumps at Jennifer, and Yennefer just pretty much fucking crushes its head. And it was a pretty cool scene. And then she grabs the baby, throws up another portal, and she escapes. And as she's escaping, the warlock throws something at her and goes through her, penetrates her chest a little bit, and it goes to the baby and kills the baby. And I don't know why they showed the baby. That kind of got to me a little bit because it was a little fucking rough, man. It was rough to get through because the entire time you can see this baby had life in it. And then when she gets through the portal, she lands on a beach. The baby's face is just pale and white. And it's just like, dude, the baby special effects was very, very realistic. And it got me a little bit. I didn't cry or anything, but it was more of just like, fuck, dude, I can't watch this. Like, this was bad. Like, because I don't know. I don't really do well with child death, in films.
That's rough for most people. I mean, if it isn't, then that's kind of, I'm like, are you a good person?
And I see the point of that whole sequence because that made her feel like, fuck, I'm never gonna have a child of my own, and I can't even save this child. Like that was her reaction to all of that. She cried too, which that she couldn't save the child's life, and she buries it in the sand. And dude, that episode, it was rough, and it really was. I was like, God, just can we steer away from this already? Well, I get it, but it's just like, dude, I couldn't do it. And the big reason for that, I know some of you guys are probably be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. They show that kind of stuff all the time in other shows and movies. But for me, man, after being a father, it's a lot rougher. It definitely is a lot rougher.
It gave me very, and I'm going to avoid saying this because it's definitely a spoiler and people need to see this without being spoiled. So I'll just be vague. It gave me that lovely Deathly Hallows Harry Potter vibe with a certain character with the knife being thrown. It was rough. That sucked. But I think the thing that affected me the most, like viscerally, was that whole transformation in episode 4, along with him fighting such a cool monster, but also really disgusting because you could see the umbilical cord. I was like,
that was one where he goes inside the castle and tries to save the girl, right?
Yeah, that was wild.
I liked that episode a lot, man. It was really good. But yeah, going back as like a whole series of of just the whole season,
all the episodes.
Yes, dude. I got to give credit to some of these actors, man. Wilson, which is plays Dara, I think his name is.
Okay.
He is, which I need to touch on this for the simple fact that I like the fact that this show has a nice mix of ethnicities in here.
Yeah, it was
fucking like, what a relief. I was like, dude, this is sick, man. Like they had they just had a mixture of just different ethnicities in this, and I liked it because you don't see it that often.
It didn't feel forced at all. Like it didn't feel like they were like, looky. It was just very
it was just casual. Like they lived in this world, and they were some, dude, I don't know. I like that. That was one of the first things that caught my eye. I was like, whoa, like that's pretty cool. Like there's a lot of mixture of ethnicities in this. Like it was really nice. So yeah, Dara plays like he's an elf. Well, he's revealed to be an elf. At first, he doesn't speak, doesn't say anything for an episode, and then he finally feels like he can trust Ciri, which Ciri's like on her journey to finding Geralt. Because Geralt is going to be protecting her. She's on the run.
The reason she's on that mission is because her grandma, who ages really great, I must say, basically was keeping her away from Geralt until she's like, oh shit, like I can't protect her anymore. Go find Geralt. And so this girl, just having everything she's known and loved in life be absolutely killed off, burned, and broken, is going through a whole journey, and it's a really quite a harrowing path that she goes on.
It humbled the fuck out of her real quick.
Yeah, it does.
She gets humbled real quick, guys, because like I said, she was born into royalty, and then she's pretty much left on her own at a certain point, and she has to like deal with the fact that a lot of them know who she is, and they were only really being nice to her, the ones that survived from that town, because she was royalty. Now that she isn't, they're just like pretty much treating her like shit. And she's come to realization that she's not like, she's a normal person now.
One other thing that kind of caught my eye, that episode, I can't remember which episode it was. It's later on when she's in that field of like reeds and she goes full like power mode. Whenever it cuts to what happened after that, it gave me flashbacks to like that Diablo 3 release, or not Diablo 3, Diablo 4 announcement trailer where the guys are pinned up against the pillars and it's like this. I was like, I love that imagery. So I was like, I like that. So that was cool.
Can I just tell you that well, I gotta give credit before I touch on this.
Yes.
Jaskier, or is it I think his name is Jaskier, right? The guitarist.
Oh, it's the bard?
Yes, the bard.
He it says
by Joy Bate. I think his name is
Joy Bate. Google says Dandelion. I don't know why.
Okay. So he's the one responsible for making, the infamous Witcher song in the show. Don't know if he wrote it, obviously, like in real life, but I'm just saying he's the one that makes it up in the show. And I think he did a phenomenal job, and he plays pretty much like a sidekick to Henry Cavill's Geralt.
I loved their banter,
their dialogue, their banter is just great. I thought he was going to be the annoying little like friend, at times, but no, he's pretty much like his hype man. He's always there. He's like his conscience to like not doing, like maybe you shouldn't do this. You know what I mean? And Geralt's like, "Fuck you, I'm gonna do it anyways." They have this back and forth.
The reason it works so beautifully is a lot of times having a character that is the straight man or the straight woman or the straight character, and having another character that acts as sort of a foil, whether it be an enemy or an ally, is really entertaining. That's why I think Batman and Joker work so well together, is because it's varied opposites, and that works across the board in almost every single type of medium. And this was a good execution of that. I thought, like you did, he might get real annoying real quick. And he had his moments where I was like, okay. But a lot of the time I was like...
They had really good chemistry with each other. Really great chemistry. Which I hope we get to see more of him, honestly.
Yeah, I
like
too.
His character. So now I want to touch on an episode that that kind of left me a little bit salty and just underwhelmed. The episode I'm referring to is the dragon episode.
I can see why.
What a fucking letdown.
I thought it was cool. I don't know.
It was cool to see everything, but I wanted to see. I was like, yes, we're gonna see Geralt in the crew and do the fucking. I gotta give credit to the elves, dude, or the dwarves. The dwarves were awesome. Especially the specific red bearded little mini, like I think he's the leader of their the dwarves, and he was just so fucking amazing, man.
He was charming. I have a bit of a bias, and I gotta confess to it, because otherwise I'm gonna
go ahead, go
ahead. Through. I understand that this is gonna come across very, I don't know, niche or whatever, but
just say it. This is
I
our
get
podcast.
Very tired of just straight up overdone tropes in fantasy.
Okay.
Of of course there's elves. Oh, of course there's dwarves. And all that other stuff. I know that's like in almost every fantasy thing now, and it existed long before like Tolkien even put him into his thing. But like, I really like it whenever a writer is able to kind of make it their own, and really change what an elf even is, or a goblin even is, or whatever, or dragons or anything. And I was real close to getting upset because there's a scene in that episode where they're like, hey, there's a shortcut through the mountain and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there like quoting Lord of the Rings of like, we can go, why go over the mountain? We can go through it. My cousin Balin would make a welcome and all this other stuff. There's like the Mines of Moria sequence. I'm like, if they do something with that path where there's a monster or whatever, I don't know why my camera keeps cutting out. I apologize about that, guys. It's like glitching out. I don't know why. I was gonna get really upset. They didn't though, and they did a really original, additional thing that added tension to that I thought was really good with scaffolding on the cliff face. So I was immediately back into the episode, despite there being such a moment for it to be just copy paste Lord of the Rings or whatever. But
okay, so it was already going to get you upset because you thought it was going to go that route.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't though, and I enjoyed the twist. Although I understand 100%.
I like the characters that were introduced in that episode, and a lot of the episode is great, especially when the guy shits. He starts shitting himself, and while they're eating, I was like, yes, man. That's fucking great, dude. But the just the built up to like they're gonna go kill a dragon, like that. Just the idea of like, please tell me they do this. When they get there, no, they don't kill a dragon. They end up fucking fighting themselves, which is like, there's a reason behind it, obviously, and but I don't know, man. I really wanted to see that scene. Like I was preparing myself to actually see everybody pretty much get obliterated by this dragon or just get fucking wrecked, and only have Henry Cavill and Yennefer be left alive to tackle this thing or something. Right. That's what my mind was going through at that time. But
which that would have been good too. I would say the qualm that I would have with that segment would be the choreographed nature of that fight with all the different swords and everything did not live up to the expectations set by episodes
it didn't. That's what I'm saying. I think that episode's definitely the best part is the banter between all the characters and the dialogue exchange between everybody. Like that's worth watching it. But like as far as the action goes, it's whatever. It's for that episode for me. It didn't do it for me. I was disappointed. I was very let down by the ending. So it was just kind of whatever's for me. But before we go ahead and close this out, I definitely want to give credit to two other specific characters that I enjoyed. I don't know if you want to give credit to any of these. This is Mimi Diweni. It's she played Fringilla.
Oh yeah, the evil sorceress.
She played the evil sorceress, and dude, she made it. She did that she did a really good job, and they showed that was probably the best part of the last episode was whenever the other character, which I was going to give credit to, by Mianna Buring, Mianna Buring, which is Tisaya, I think her name is Tisaya, Tisaya, or something like that. She was very pretty for age.
she reminded me of a McGonagall kind of character. Like
she was fucking. Actually, what a great casting.
You know who she reminded me the most of right when we first met her? Because she just kept calling Yennefer, which another tiny rabbit trail. I'll just say this real quick. 4 marks. That asshole dad. Dude, like 4 marks? Come on, you douche. But anyway, then so whenever she first gets Yennefer and the way she's treating her, all I could think of, not surprisingly, but I guess, but was the pink lady from Harry Potter. I guess Order of the Phoenix, or maybe.
Yeah. At first, she gives off that vibe where she's kind of like she acts very bitchy towards everybody, and
then she turns into a boss ass bitch, and I'm like, I love you.
She's great. Yeah, she's fucking awesome. I like her character development, and the reason why her character kind of changed was because Yennefer kind of changed her perspective on a lot of things. You get to see that she she kind of becomes different, and I liked her. She did a phenomenal job. That was definitely a standout for me. And the scene I was going to refer to was at the very end, the last scene, or not the last scene, but the last episode, where Fryn, she turns around and because Tisaya tries to convince her, hey, like this isn't the way, like we shouldn't be battling, or she could still come back. You can still be good or whatever. And dude, Fringilla just fucking turns around, throws this dust at her face, and the way she gives her this look, we're like, I don't fucking need your help, and just walks away, just like a fucking boss, dude. I was like, whoa, they made her look like she played that part very well, convincing. She convinced me that she is fucking evil. Like she didn't give a fuck. Like I'm gonna do this regardless whether if you want me to or not. Like, fuck you.
True. I just wish she didn't.
She didn't say that per se, but
oh yeah,
when you watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, she just said, "Fuck you."
I just kind of wish that Tissia, she didn't go out so easily, because she like made it look like she was such kind of a master of what she could do. And for her to just get like paprika in the face, and then she's like, shit.
Paprika. Yes, that's a good
and then she was out for like most of it. I was like, yeah, I get it, because it's such a boss-ass moment for her character, Mimi's character, but I was like, it's all right. But I do agree, like, Mimi pulled off such I was almost say chilling. Like, she was cool. She was confident, powerful, and calculated.
Yes. And she walked around like she was not fucking scared one bit. Like, she knew her mission was going to be successful. She wasn't like panicking or things weren't going her way. No, she walked around like everything was going to go exactly the way she planned it out. And it fucking...
Yep.
And it was really good. There's a lot of the cast members that we're missing here.
Oh yeah, there's tons of people
on with them that are just so that are standouts, that are great. And we want you guys to go watch it for yourselves. Even if you stuck it out with all the spoilers we're talking about, telling you go watch the show. I want to get to the ratings here. What do you want to give it, Tim? Up to you. What do you think?
The only thing, honestly, keeping it from being a golden for me is just a few things. One, I think, is some of the visuals. I agree. Just they feel a little TV for me. Some of the pacing in some episodes, I feel like we lingered places that we didn't need to linger, and we brushed past stuff I really wish we could see. Some of the combat didn't live up to what I thought would be kind of only better from episode 1, and I get it. I too like to see whatever on the screen, nudity levels and fortification or whatever.
Oh, that's another thing we didn't even touch on.
This one has it a lot.
It has a lot of nudity,
and I'm like, at a certain point, I was like, I got it.
This is funny too. Wait, hold on. I gotta actually tell these people. Yesterday when we were doing the podcast, he mentioned he's like, I almost couldn't get through the nudity parts. I'm like, I didn't think about it, because I think watching Game of Thrones so much that I just kind of became kind of like just oblivious to it. Yeah, desensitized to a lot of the stuff that I just didn't really pay attention to it that much. I was just like, oh, it's another naked girl, whatever, another sexy. It was just whatever to me. But I until you pointed it out, that's when I was like, you know what? Now that you said that, there's fucking orgies. There's
there was
quite
much,
a few sex scenes.
Dude, I was like watching this. I'm like, I'm gonna get poked in the eye with a nipple.
There's dialogue exchange where girls just have their boobs out, like it's nothing. Yeah. It's just like,
I mean, I get it, because it's part of the world, and that's kind of the thing. The reason it was fine with me for Game of Thrones, but it kind of like Game of Thrones. I felt like with that show, like they relied so much on, oh look, there's boobies and sex. Yeah. Because they weren't confident in the show, and that's what it made me feel like. And so it's kind of felt the same way almost with this. Obviously, I think that they were confident and they did a good job. Yeah, but that's accompanying all those other factors that I had that I was like, I got it. I don't mind seeing it, but not maybe as much. But that's just my tastes. I'm giving it a very solid 4. I think it's definitely a buttered popcorn. I think it's a show I wouldn't mind rewatching. And I loved the music. I loved most of the show. That's just things I didn't like so much. So that's my thoughts.
All right. Yeah, for me, I think I love special effects. Fucking dude, they killed it, man. Whenever they went into like a lot of the brutal scenes, where the sword fights and stuff, like, woo, they killed it with the special effects. So shout out to them. The costume designs were great. They didn't look cheap as hell. I think they were perfectly fine with that. One of the things, obviously, the gripes is that some of the special effects, or like the CGI, not the special effects, CGI specifically, that look kind of a little sus at times. Obviously, I kind of got past it. Once you start to get into the show, you kind of get past it a little bit, because you can kind of tell that they were working with the budget. So hopefully next season, from all the success that it's getting and the hype and the praise, that they're given a lot more room to fix things up, touch things up a little bit there. I think the cast is phenomenal. I did not feel like any of them felt like miscast or anything. Like I felt like I was in this world, and they were all pretty much convincing to me. And then Henry Cavill leading the charge here, which I didn't feel like he was the only one. Like it didn't feel like this was Henry Cavill's show. It was so many other characters that you felt like, damn, like they're interesting. Like I like it. You know, it didn't feel like, oh, go back to Geralt. Like I want to see Geralt on screen. No, it didn't feel like that. I was okay with what they were giving me. I was fine with it. So overall, I liked it. Was there, like I said, there was probably 1 or 2 episodes that I just felt like they were kind of like, for me, or like I said, my expectations were, I guess, kind of high. And then when we got to there, and I was very disappointed by it. So, and I want to see more monster hunting, obviously, because they fucking showed us that in the first 5 minutes of the show, and I'm like, how can you tease me that way, man? They were great. I liked it overall. More monster hunting though, more of the witching stuff, I think would be really cool. But I want to give this a solid 4 out of 5 as well. Butter popcorn. I don't think it deserves anything higher. No. Personally, and I don't think it deserves anything lower. I think 4 out of 5 is just like a perfect spot for me too.
Yeah. I agree. Certified buttered.
Yeah, butter for sure. All right, guys. Hopefully you guys like this review. Once again, let us know if you guys will like. I think we're leaning towards the fact that we're gonna start do these little mini reviews and then keep the podcast more news related and topics. And stuff. So hopefully you guys will like that style next week, because that's what we're gonna do. So remember, expect new reviews and episodes podcast every Wednesday and Thursday. So hopefully if we can't upload it on Wednesday, we'll have it uploaded on Thursday. So it'll be once a week, every week. Appreciate you guys for watching. Tim, it was good seeing you again, buddy. Hopefully we'll get to do the next one next week. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.